Last night, I finally got around to watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've been excited for this movie for a long time. I am a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. So we're going to talk about all of that on the Clenema channel today. It's going to be a spoiler review. So there's your chance. After we're done the intro here, I'm going to be talking about everything that happened in the movie. So you haven't seen it, get out of here. Thank you for coming, though. We'll talk about it in just a second. I do want to say before we get into it, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Guardians 3. Okay, hopefully those people are gone because it's a brand new movie. I don't want to be that guy that spoils. So, long story short, I thought the movie was good. I didn't think it was great, and I didn't think it was anywhere near bad. I thought it was good. The only thing that I really didn't like about the movie, you know what? I'll start with that. There was one thing that I didn't like about the movie, and that was the ending. Why did Mantis have to take off? I hated that. That it left me with like a little bit of a sour feeling afterwards, but then I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I enjoyed the movie. I laughed. I like the serious moments. But like, at least Star-Lord leaving and wanting to go live with his grandpa makes sense. But why did Mantis leave? She just left with some of those weird tentacle monsters. You know what I mean? I thought that was a bad ending for her, and it was just like tugging at the heartstrings a little bit. I wanted to see the Guardians have like a happy ending, you know? Speaking of happy ending, though, I was really surprised that Rocket didn't die. I thought they were setting it up that whole time, man. I'm sorry if this is like a little bit backwards talking about the movie, but this is just what came to my mind first. I thought they were setting it up, man. Looking in through his past, which was great, by the way, and I think I'll touch on that next. And even when he was about to die, he went to like, what do you call it, like the afterlife where he was friends with like the Weasel or whatever that was. And he was like, can I come with you guys? And she's like, not yet. You still have something to do. So I thought he was going to like save some people and then die in the process, but he didn't die. I thought they were setting up the whole time that happy ending with like Rocket being reunited with his friends. And that's what I want to talk about next is, wow, did they pull on the heartstrings? Oh my God. They showed Rocket's past, and even Nebula was like, oh, this is worse than whatever Thanos did to me. And that bad guy, whoever was playing the bad guy, I don't know, the name's escaping me at the moment. I really liked him. He was evil. He was torturous, you know, and it was weird, but I loved seeing the friendship with them, but it was really sad. I thought it was really well done. I knew that James Gunn was going to take a little bit of a more dark approach to this movie, but I didn't really think he was going to be like showing Rocket getting tortured and stuff. I thought this movie was just going to be a little bit serious, which it was, and that's why I thought this movie was just good. It was a very well done movie, very well written, way better than anything Disney's done recently, because I have been very critical of Marvel recently. I have not liked their movies recently. I think the last one I really loved was Shang-Chi. But that's like a huge outlier. You know what I mean? Unless you're talking about No Way Home. I don't remember which one came first, but that doesn't matter. Point is, I haven't been happy with Marvel, but I was happy with this movie. And it's unfortunate James Gunn is taking off the DC, which means their movies are probably going to get better, but Marvel's probably going to do what they are doing, what they have been doing, and just dropping the ball with the movies. Conversation for another time, though. The thing that I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy is the humor. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That was one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. I laughed so hard throughout that entire movie. And the first one I thought was really good, but I like number 2 way more. I just wish that there was more humor in this movie, and there were some jokes that missed, but there were some moments that, just like in classic Guardian fashion, I was actually laughing out loud in the theater. And I don't laugh out loud like too much, like the one with... It's unfortunate that I saw it in the trailer, but it still made me laugh. When Drax like went to that Earth place and then he bounced the ball off the dude's face, I thought that was great. And I loved all the parts where like, man, actually now that I'm thinking about it, Drax kind of carried the humor in this movie. Every single time I laughed at something, it was kind of because of Drax. Either that or Mantis. Because Star-Lord was being serious, Nebula was being serious, Gamora was serious. And I actually will talk about Gamora, which was another very interesting twist on how they did things. It was kind of what I expected, to see Gamora like not being in love with Peter, but Peter being madly in love with Gamora. I didn't expect Peter to be like drunk and depressed, which I don't know why I didn't think that. I thought it was just gonna be like a Guardians movie, but it all makes sense, right? But it's interesting to see him still really love Gamora, and Gamora's like, look, I'm not that guy. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be together at the end. I was leaning towards no. I kind of like how they left it, because it would be kind of weird. I'm thinking about like this with my fiance, or excuse me, I just got married. I'm with my wife now. I was thinking about this, like, if my wife died and then, like, I went back in time and pulled another one of her here from a few years ago and she didn't remember me, I wouldn't feel like, it would be her, but it wouldn't be her. It's not the same soul. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if I'd be in love with her in that sense if I, like, pulled another one from another timeline. Because it'd be an entirely different person, but it's the same person. You know what I mean? I hope this is making sense to you. obviously I would look at her and get sad and be like, oh, you know what? I don't even know if I'd tell her, to be honest. Well, yeah, there was another one of you in a different timeline, and I was in love with you. We loved each other. We had some great times. They did make some really funny moments with that and Star-Lord's charm, and like I like the moments where he was gonna go like riz up that girl, and he was like, well, I'm glad that you're gonna get to see this for the first time again. I thought those moments were really funny. It was really cool to see. But it was interesting how they did handle Gamora, because Gamora was taken like straight out of Thanos. So she wasn't like necessarily a great person yet. It was really weird to see Nebula being the good one. So it was cool to like see them switch over, which is also, speaking of that, and this is what I've noticed with Nebula, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it was a little bit weird to see Nebula a little bit chunkier, and Gamora, whew, she looked great. So there, you had a little bit of a swap there. I'm not saying Gamora was big or anything, but like something about her, the actress, like she was a little bit more defined, which is very nice to see. Star-Lord too lost a ton of weight. The dude looks great, Chris Pratt. Big fan of that guy. He looks fantastic, but I'm going a little bit off topic. Just something I noticed in the movie. One thing that I was a little bit disappointed about, and this is something like I actually didn't really think about it too much until I watched Jeremy John's video about Guardians of the Galaxy, because I love watching that dude. I thought he was great, but he came up with a fantastic point, and then I realized that I was agreeing with it because I didn't really know what to think about Adam Warlock. First of all, the actor, look, he's a great actor, okay? He's fantastic at what he does. I don't mean to be disrespectful in any sense, but I can't unsee Kenny from We're the Millers. I just think about two giant testicles. You know what I mean? He was so good in that movie. It's just like, it's unfortunate that that's his defining performance with me. And I was seeing it with a friend of mine, and he completely agreed with me. I was going to say, oh, I can't see him as this like raging, really cool, like gold bad guy. You know what I mean? And when I was going to talk about Jeremy Johns, excuse me, I got a little bit distracted. What Jeremy Johns said is that they felt like they just threw him in there because they needed to, which makes total sense because I didn't know really how I was feeling about it. I was like, he was all right. You know what I mean? But then I agree with Jeremy Johns because they've been building up Adam Warlock this whole time. And then when they came up with the script for this movie, they were probably something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, what he said. Oh, we need Adam Warlock to be in this movie because we teased him. And then they were like, okay, well, here he is, you know? Because if he wasn't in the movie, really nothing would change except for that ending sequence when Star-Lord was out in space, which I actually thought he was going to die, by the way. I was like, oh my God, out of everybody dying, Star-Lord's going to die? Because I knew this movie was going to be the end of the Guardians and it was going to be dark. So I was like, oh, I really thought the dude was dying. Let me know what you guys thought down below if he was actually going to die. Man, this review, spoiler talk thing is all over the place. But yeah, Adam Warlock was a little bit disappointing. Hopefully we see more, which was interesting too because this is the final Guardians movie, but it says Star-Lord will return. So maybe we'll see a couple of those characters come back. We're just not going to see a Guardians movie anymore. It's probably because James Gunn's taken off. I don't know. All in all, though, I thought it was a really good close to the movie. The movie was a solid Guardians adventure. It was mostly about saving Rocket, so there was kind of like, when I want to talk about like the whole movie, diving into it, there's not really too much to talk about. It was just the Guardians went on a mission. Rocket got shot. He was going to die. The evil dude wants his pet back. And we had some really heartbreaking moments with Rocket. We looked into his history. The Guardians went on a mission, like I said, and it was really funny, their mission at points. We saw Gamora. We saw all of those people coming together again, which, again, like the Guardians together and all of those actors having their charisma that they do, they're fantastic together. I thought it was a really, really solid ending to the series. It was way more serious than I anticipated, but I still had a lot of laughs throughout the movie, so I don't really know how I would characterize this movie. You know what I mean? I thought it was good. Like I said, it was good, not great. No, yeah, it was good, not great. Excuse me. My apologies. Guardians 2 was my favorite movie. I liked this movie more than I did the first one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they were just solid movies. This and the first one were solid movies. Guardians 2 was like a 10 out of 10 for me. That's where I'm at. This is where I'll leave it up to you guys, though. Let me know what you think about the movie down below. Did you think it was a great ending to the Guardians of the Galaxy? I do, and I'm very, very sad that we won't be able to see them again because I love watching the Guardians of the Galaxy. It seems like a whole era is coming to a close because I remember the first time Guardians came out, man, I didn't want to watch it, probably like a lot of us, and then it ended up being one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. So it's crazy to me. It's crazy that it's coming to an end. It's the end of an era. At least they didn't do too many movies, and Disney is not ruining this movie. Thank God. So you can tell they kept their paws off it this time. You could tell because it was really well done, unlike what we've seen from Marvel recently. So let me know what you guys thought about the movie down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. On the screen right now, you will have 2 Clenema videos of some movies, something along the lines that I've watched. If you're interested, take a look at them. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care.